right, we are here tonight, live from ACU. We're still in Abilene. For those of you who are not in Abilene and enjoying your spring break, thanks for tuning in because it's going to be a great night. So first of all, let me introduce everybody to Smixon.
Hello.
As in the son of Smick, the great Smick. This is his son.
A legend.
Yes, the legend of Smick.
Oh yes, very legendary.
Yeah. Smixon is the team member that you haven't seen yet because he's always had to leave in the middle of the matches because he works and stuff, whatever that is. And so we're glad to have him here tonight. And you're probably wondering, well, if he plays on the team, why is he sitting right here? Well, that's because they already won. You guys missed it. I mean, thanks for tuning in late. The University of Daytona, or sorry, not university, it's the Daytona State College was our opponents tonight, and they did not show up.
Left it outside.
Yeah, they were afraid of the thunder that we would bring. Yeah. So
there you
go. We won. Don't go away though, because this just means that we're going to be doing some awesome stuff tonight. So here's what we're going to do. These guys, they came to play some Hearthstone, and so we're going to play some Hearthstone. So we have two teams tonight. We have the ACU eSports team consisting of Smixon, Joseph, and Equal D, the same team that you've been watching the last couple weeks. And tonight they will be taking on the challengers of myself and Jewish Banana. And that's just weird to say, but
sure.
Yeah, that's his name. Jewish Banana and I are going to take on the ACU eSports. So it is ACU eSports.
Yes.
Versus ACU eSports.
Yes, very excited. This will be great.
So we're going to do it a conquest style, except a little different. We're going to bring 4 decks, and there will be no bans. So talk a little bit about
first 4 wins, right?
Yep.
So we're going to play all 4 decks, and we're going to you have to get a win with each deck.
Correct.
So just the same rules that we've had so far, just rather than having 3 decks because one of them was banned, we're going with all 4.
Yep, and that's going to be great. What decks are you guys bringing tonight?
All right, so we'll, as the ACU eSports team, have brought the same decks that we brought last week. So we'll have the Even Paladin and the Even Warlock. We'll have the Odd Mage, and we'll have the Mid-Range Hunter.
All right. And as the ACU eSports team, we will be bringing the... Now, don't get too confused with the ACU eSports team. This is the ACU eSports team.
Right, very separate.
So actually, as a note, you can tell the difference. One will be the ACU Club Esports, and the other one will be the Abilene Christian Club Esports. I will be representing the Abilene Christian Club Esports, and Smixon and crew will be representing the ACU Club Esports. You'll see that once we get into the live screen. So we're going to be bringing some weird stuff tonight. So get ready because it's going to be weird. I think we're going to be kicking things off with a Subject 9 Hunter.
All right.
So
very interesting.
Secret. I've got
a secret. Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
Then we're going to be doing we've got a Resurrect Priest.
All right.
A Quest Rogue and a Quest Warrior.
All right.
An odd Quest Warrior. So
this will be some fun games.
Yeah, it's going to be good stuff. The way we're going to do this with casting and whatnot is we're going to switch around. So right now, Jewish Banana is getting set up against Equal D, and Joseph is on comms with him, and they're going to work through this first match. And then after this, we're going to swap things out, and so there'll be a very brief break in between as we switch players, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm excited. Are you excited?
All right, yeah, I'm very excited. This is going to be great.
Yeah. So we're going to get things kicked off here in about 2 to 3 minutes. So stick around, buckle up, and get ready for some sweet Hearthstone action. Also, never mind. Oh, apparently
the smoothest of transitions.
All
and
right.
We're back.
Also, I'm pretty sure that we're going to win.
Oh.
Because we've got the mug.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I can't compete with the mug.
The
I
mug.
have
The mug of Hearthstone.
I have Tic Tacs.
Okay, well.
Not sponsored.
So
okay.
It's Team Mug versus Team Tic Tacs. And apparently we're ready to go. So we're going to maybe it'll be a 30-second break, but we'll still go to a quick break. So
all right, be back soon.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're loading in. Yeah, we can see both sides here. So you have to be able to read upside down here, but I do believe that's a Master's Call, a Freezing Trap, and a Tracking in the hand of Jewish Banana playing for Abilene Christian Club Esports and ACU Club Esports. This is Equal D on the even, or sorry, the odd mage.
Odd mage, yeah.
Odd
The 3
mage.
and the 5 gave it away.
So, taking his sweet time, select the cards he's going to be using here.
Yeah, trying to think.
I expect we're going to see drop at least one automaton.
Yeah, not really something you want to see both of this early.
No, I think I would probably drop both. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Drop both of those. You can pick them up later. Cinderstorm is a great early. It has some really nice options as a great early opener.
None will survive.
And this deck is super aggressive.
Very aggressive. Lots of face damage.
Yeah, and so if you can Cinderstorm with nothing on the board, that's 5 damage directly to face. Reads, deal 5 damage to your opponent.
So this will be interesting too, because you have secrets on both sides. Secret keepers on both sides. And secret
Yes.
keepers trigger when
When
either
secret gets
occurs.
played.
So
Yep.
we'll see if that comes into play at all.
And so we should have the deck set up. We may have to tell it to use. So we're trying to get you guys the deck info tonight, so you can kind of see what's been played by ACU over there on the left. We may see if we can get that whole deck loaded in at some point.
All right. So ACU Esports
This should be the odd
clearing off
mage.
that secret keeper to start off. Pretty nice.
There we go.
Oh,
No, it doesn't like it. Apparently, there's a different odd mage than. I wonder if Equal D decided to play the odd mage.
the odd mage. Ooh.
I don't know. Well, we can at least see the cards that have been played. And if you see something you don't recognize, let me know. All right, so kicking things off, just shooting shots across the bow.
Looking to maximize some face damage with the arcane missiles. Through
Yep.
the face, playing the Darmol. Looking good for ACU Esports to start.
Yeah. Now, let's get a tracking going here. This is so nice being able to see what's happening on both sides. So, tracking is kind of, it's a double-edged sword, man. And I go back and forth on how I feel about tracking. I like tracking a little later on. I don't know if I like tracking this early, where, you know, surely there's something else you can figure out to do. Oh, tracking just is one of those, I need this thing, and I go find it. I don't think there's anything that he desperately needs at the moment. So I don't know how I feel about an early tracking there. And, of course, so he picks up the kill command with the tracking. But that means that the Spellstone and what was the other thing in there? Was that the weapon?
I actually can't remember.
Well, they're gone.
Lost it that quickly.
So just tracking and then some damage. I expect we'll see. Yeah, that's a really, really juicy flanking strike target right there. So we'll see this flanking strike come in. I would guess we're gonna see a flanking strike come in pretty quick here. Now it does, you know, leave that 3/3 on the board. That's going to be cleaned up pretty quickly by Equal D here, since you know it's 2 damage and then from the hero power and then 1 damage from the bowl. But it's just such a clean up of that kitty cat. Another option here would be to go ahead and arcane missiles, see if 2 of them hit. If they do, then great. If 1 of them hits, then he.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to be trying to just clear it off with those randomly selected spells, and we do get it.
There you go.
So clearing off the board, get some extra face damage. 20 health to go.
All right. So I think it's time to start loading up some secrets here. Sorry about that. So we get another tracking here, and again, I don't know about tracking on it. So now, you know, He's just lost his Master's Call. And so on. Now, that said, so the theory behind tracking and why it's so valuable is think of it as the two things that you don't get, they're at the bottom of your deck. There's no option to draw them. You're never going to draw them. So if you consider it that way, it's pick something, and the other things just are at the bottom of your deck. That said, in certain decks, it can be really rough. Where I've played a Death Rattle Hunter game where my 3 tracking options were Katarina and Rexar and King Crush. It's like all of those are really important things,
right? Tracking, you're supposed to get the thing that you want right then, and just if they're all things that you want, it's like, oh, well, I don't want those to go to the bottom of my deck, like you were saying. So
I think the Fire Ear here is pretty clear. That's going to be 4 damage to that Thug. There's no opportunity. Now, we can see, obviously, that there is no weapon to buff that Thug, but Equal D does not see that, and so he's going to need to make sure that he clears that off pretty quick, because those Thugs can get out of control pretty fast.
Yeah. Especially it was a nice random 3-drop to get off of that secret that he pulled. So do you see the Spellstone coming out to get 4 3/3s on the board, so that can be pretty scary too.
And this Odd Mage, while it is pretty aggressive, it doesn't... I'm not sure how much board clear does it have.
Right, yeah, there's not much board clear in this.
I think
as far as I'm aware, a lot
probably
of it is
the fire...
Damage, just damage.
Is there a flame...
like a flame strike or anything?
Yeah, flame
like
strike. That's
I don't believe we run flame strike in ours.
Okay.
So just try to go for as much damage as possible, and any kind of area of effect would be like the random spells that you saw us cast earlier, which we have already used. So that counter spell would have been really nice to have had in play before the Spellstone came, but maybe we're thinking to try to block that other Spellstone, because we also don't know what the tracking got rid of. So we don't know if you're holding on to another Spellstone in your hand or something like that. So maybe we're trying to keep things from getting too crazy, which makes sense. Obviously, we can see that the Spellstone was discarded in a way after the tracking was used.
Again, that's caster vision for you.
Right.
We know these things, but Equal D doesn't. So I'm liking the... I kind of like a... well, Rexar actually does feel pretty decent here, especially followed up with a Candle Shot that can clean off that 4/3, which is now a 4/1. And then... go ahead and clear things off, and then 9 damage to the face. I forget what that secret is. It's a counterspell, right?
Counterspell, yes.
Yeah. Well, which is still pretty good in this. So Juice Banana's going to have to figure out what he wants to throw away. He's going to be probably expecting a counterspell of some sort. Hoping for a draw on a secret here, but no such luck.
Can still play the Secret Keeper, and maybe we can get a secret off of the next one to play and keep drawing cards. There you go, look at that. All right.
All right.
So that's all we can play. So let's see. You guys have 12, 13 damage as of right now.
That is 13 damage on board.
So you have the kill command, which would be lethal.
Testing for the counterspell.
Getting the counterspell.
Great.
So this looks like if he sees it, he might have the game here.
Yep. So because that's 12 on board, plus the 5 from the kill command, should clean this up.
Yep.
Nice.
There it is. All right. First game goes to Abilene Christian.
All right.
eSports.
That's right. All right.
Well played.
Well played by both teams. So we see the aggression there from the from that odd mage, but really the game, the problem there was that Spellstone. Right.
Yeah.
If there had been a counterspell just a little bit earlier, maybe that they could have tried to avoid some of that with. But once you got those 4 3/3s on board,
right? I mean, without any kind of clear from the odd mage, anything like that, we'll have a rough time.
Well, and the it was a really fat Deathstalker Rexar there.
Yes.
Was able to
clear off all of those minions with the candle shot. Was able to kill the 4 attacks.
Hunter doesn't have a whole lot of really good big clears like that at Deathstalker Rexar. So Deathstalker Rexar is about it, and so seeing that early on was convenient.
Yeah. So
All right.
those early trackings did end up working out in the end. So.
All right. Well, we're going to be right back in about a minute while we get the next game set up.
All right. All right. And we're back, getting into the first game. So joining me now instead of Zarthis from earlier is Jewish Banana. Zarthis is now playing this next deck.
So hello. I was just playing the last game. I just crushed your guys' mage. With the
Ouch.
hunter.
It's accurate, but ouch.
Well,
Hail, friend.
okay, so we got Zathras on top with a quest rogue. And
Joseph is on the bottom with our Beast Hunter, our mid-range hunter.
alright, so aggressive, it's mildly aggressive deck against the rogue here, which sometimes it's a little iffy to how well they can counter the aggression. Just depends on how well they draw.
Yep, this will be interesting. So we are changing the rules a little bit from where we had decided to do earlier. So we won't be doing a conquest. We'll be playing each of the 4 decks, getting each game in. But due to some circumstances, that'll be how this will work. We'll play each of the 4 decks, play 4 different games, and we'll get this going.
Yep. And then if after those 4 games there's still a tie, then we'll figure out something for a tiebreaker. But if it gets there, we'll let you guys know. It's opening with a Wax Elemental there to try to buy some time, buy some pieces to get that quest going.
Yeah. Looks like Joseph's going to be playing the Spring Pulp, try to pop that Divine Shield with the 1/1. So, using the other links to clear it off the board. So pretty smart play here by Joseph. You can't see the other person's hand, but if you were aware of the quest mate or the quest rogue is trying to play the same number or the same name cards a certain number of times. So they have things that can bounce the minions back to their hands so they can play them again and get that quest going. So it looks like he was trying to clear that off so he couldn't bounce it back to their hand in any way.
Yep. Another thing he decided to do was to play the Lynx instead of a Timberwolf, because he could have played Timberwolf last turn to clear the Wax Elemental, but being able to play it this turn means that you can push all the damage into face instead of the Elemental. So already 3 turns in, it's got a pretty scary board. He does have 2 Fan of Knives and a Preparation, so he could take out most of what's there. We'll see what he decides to do here. He may just prep Vanish. Nope, 1 Fan of Knives.
So what Fan of Knives does kind of leave the board not too scary, because it does give rid of that Timberwolf, which gives all the beast extra attack.
Yep.
So just a 3/1 and a 1/3 is a little less scary. So freezing that 3/1 minion too.
Keep buying time. So deciding between a Master's Call and the Animal Companion.
To my side.
It would have been interesting, Master's Call, like what they do on the Razor Maw, maybe. I definitely think the Animal Companion was the right choice there between the 2 options.
Yeah. Still have a Fan of Knives to clear a 3/1 and 1/1 off the board now. So.
What is that 1 mana? Oh, it's Boar up there. Okay. So throwing out the Fan of Knives.
I hope you like my invention.
Drawing cards and buying time. Just trying to get to where they can complete that quest.
Got the Elven Minstrel now, so they can draw some minions and really get going there.
Again with the same choice of Master's Call or Animal Companion.
Yep.
Goes for Animal Companion again, gets the Huffer.
Every time.
Oh yeah, Huffer every time. Gets a lot of face damage in here. Clears off that 1/1 because we don't want to bounce it back to your hand. Want to avoid that at all costs.
Yep. In a bit of a risky spot here, because the only really removal he has is the Vanish, but you can again just play both those 3 mana drops next turn. So
yeah, it might be interesting if he tries to play the Sonya Shadow Dancer with the boar to try to play a boar 3 or 4 times, just to try to clear it off.
You could, yeah, that'd be 3 boars, but there's not really a plan B afterwards to get those last 2 boars in for the quest. Sure, there's the 4th one in the deck somewhere, but you still got to get the 5th one. So I think, what is that 3 mana drop? Is that the guy that adds 3 copies?
Could be. It's hard to tell with the upside down cards.
Yeah. Just. Oh, it's a Zola.
Oh, it's a Zola, the Gorgon. All right.
Okay, well, there's the 5th one. If he does that, he's going with the Vanish, getting the free boar in before he does so.
Yeah, so he plays a boar, bounces everything back to everyone's hand with the prep Vanish there, so he can play it again, get those stacks on the quest. So we'll see what Joseph here does to respond. He's looking to maybe Master's Call into Huffer for maybe a bunch of damage with Huffer and then draw some cards with Master's Call.
Maybe that. Either that or just play both
just
of
play
the
both of them again,
companions, yep.
Still not a bad play. So got to try to put the pressure on because we don't want you to complete that quest.
Oh yeah, and the pressure is definitely high though. 16 health against a hunter that has hit the mid-range section. Definitely not the spot you want to be in.
Actually, it just goes to hero power here, which is again, puts on that pressure still. You know that you've used both Fan of Knives, so we're counting the number of removals you have maybe and trying to think, well, this maximizes our damage. We want to put you on a timer. So getting that damage in. This is looking good.
Yeah, I don't think the quest rogue runs even any healing, so
all damage is permanent.
Yeah.
4 turns and
4
then he
turn
wins.
clock here, yeah. So this is not a good decision at all. I guess that was the reason behind them doing the hero power, was so they could put him on the clock there. But we will get the quest completed. Well, no, wait. We can only trade twice. So, because
Right,
you
so
could
they
keep pumping
so we
out
have to
the
play
Sonya.
it three more times. We have to play the board 3 more times because we have 2 out of 5 complete, like we were looking at there. So, but the Sonya bounces it back to your hand only when the minion dies. So, if you played the boar again, you would kill it, and that would be the 3rd one. Then you could play it again, and that would be 4 out of 5. But you can't play the boar another time after that because yeah, it looks like he realized that
He
too.
realized that, yeah.
Saying the oops as far as the emotes go, but. Maybe that's another reason not to play the second animal companion then, also. So that way he couldn't
Maybe.
keep trading into it to complete the quest.
That is definitely a possibility.
So this is an interesting move.
Yeah. The Zola to keep the Sonya going, but of course, yeah.
So yeah, it looks
he
like-
realized he was cornered here.
So yeah, it looks like we have gone 1 apiece.
Yep.
1 game each.
All right.
All right. Caught back up. Both Hunter decks have won. So
Dang
clearly,
Hunter.
clearly there's a match favorite as far as this one goes.
Well, there's just so many dang hunters that running around everywhere.
Oh yeah.
All on the loose.
But with both Hunters having won, that means no one else can play Hunter.
That is true.
If no one else can play Hunter, no one else can win now, right?
Yes, of course. Everyone's
right.
going to lose now.
Well, looks like we're going to take a quick break and get the next match started. So we'll see you guys again in a little bit.
All right, folks, we're getting ready for the next one, and yeah, I'm all alone for the moment because Smixon and Jewish Banana are playing against each other this round. So we are now tied 1-1. Jewish Banana pulling the win for Apple and Christian, and then Joseph pulling the win for ACU. For those just joining us, we are doing some scrims with each other tonight because it's fun and the other team didn't show up. So we got a win already tonight, and now we're moving into here. So we started out with a Secret Hunter against the Odd Mage of ACU, and then a Quest Rogue, which was not piloted well enough to defeat the top tier mid-range Hunter. Now what we've got is the Even Paladin against an odd Quest Warrior. So interesting, he's holding the... He opted to hold the quest, and he's going to play it, I guess not this turn. He's going to wait until he has some taunts ready to play those quests. So it looks like we've got those decks working, so you can see the decks going on the left-hand side of ACU as to what they've played. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll be able to see number of cards in hand and number of cards left in the deck for the opponents. So just some information for you. Upgrading our stream as we go. All right. So we see the quest finally coming in here. So for those not familiar, what this quest is it's you got to play 7 taunt minions. If you play 7 taunt minions, you get Sulfuros. Sulfuros is a 4-cost weapon that is a weapon is okay, but the relevant part is it changes your hero power from gain armor to deal 8 damage to a random opponent. So in this case, this is also an odd warrior, so he's got the bonus from Baku the Moon Eater, which allows his hero power to heal to armor up for 4 or tank up for 4 rather than the normal 2. And so his goal right now is really just to kind of survive until he gets 7 taunt minions out. And wow, that is a tall order right now because this is a huge deck coming in from Smixon. A huge set of, that was what, 19 damage on the last turn. Now he's still at 23 because that armor is great, but it's gonna be hard to rebut. At this point, he may be considering the brawl. Okay, he's gonna go with the Dynamatic, hoping that at least 2 of those land, which they did on that Berserker. That only leaves 14 damage on the board, as opposed to with the Blessing of Kings, that's going to be 22 damage on the board, which means that next turn the Consecration could theoretically be game over. In fact, just this 1 damage left on the board is all that's required to close out this game super fast. Wow. All right, so now left with the decision of what to do here. We could see a brawl. That brawl means that there is no armor up, which means he's dead to Consecration on the board. I can't tell what that 5 is. That
What now?
I can't. That's a rush minion there. That theoretically he could clear off this 11-9. If he's able to clear off this 11-9. Okay, so he's going for the 1 in 3 chance. He's got a 1. Well, he thinks he's got a 1 in 3 chance here. He didn't get it, but it doesn't actually matter because that Consecration was in hand for the absolute quickest win you could possibly imagine here. What is that? A turn 6 win. So, ACU eSports going up 1. I think, yeah. So, if you blinked, you missed it. That was just, man, swinging for 22 damage on turn 5, that's going to hurt. So, don't go away. We're going to set up for our last match, which is going to be me against Smixon. If we win, we'll go to a tiebreaker. Otherwise, we'll close things out for the night and call that good for Hearthstone. So our next match is going to be a priest, a control priest, versus the warlock that Smixon is going to be bringing on the even warlock. So don't go away. Stick around for ACU versus ACU. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So I got absolutely dominated last game, huh? Oh well. So it is now 2-1. So Eric has to bring it back this game for us to reach the tie and win the whole thing. But he's going to have to do it with his Resurrect Priest. So he's on top. And then we have, this is why it's Smixon's Even Warlock on the bottom. So
We have turned our curse into our
So his opening hand's not horrible. The Ooze is very not helpful against a priest. They don't have any weapons. The Doomsayer, it can take out that cleric he's probably going to play on this turn, but the Homunculus will be really good, especially if they can draw a Spellstone to power that up for later on. But they will probably just play, unless they want to do the Doomsayer. Yeah, nope, they're just going to throw out the Ooze for the trade. Just going to get that Discover a Spell here. Well, this is a Resurrect Priest, so it wouldn't surprise me if they took the Spellstone, but Shadow Essence isn't horrible either. Could pull out some something really good early on. Hovering the Spellstone here. Yep, took the Spellstone, so it's just an extra Spellstone for them later on. More late game push. So both of these decks are pretty well versed in the early and the late game. So maybe definitely the Warlock more in the early game, but as things go into late game, the Priest will definitely scale better. But the Warlock can hold their own. They already have their Blood Reaver Gul'dan, so. See, those Spellbreakers are definitely going to come in handy because a lot of the big minions the Priest will play have a lot of effects on them, especially that, ooh, I can't remember the name of it, the 9-mana taunt with the Life Steal and the Death Rattle Destroy minion. Yeah, that'll be really nice to silence. He doesn't have it in his hand right now, no. So Inner Fire, Shadow Word Death, and a Psychic Scream. So the Scream isn't bad. They chose the Death. So I wonder what they're targeting with the Death here. Probably the Mountain Giants. This is a even Warlock after all, but those are both still in the deck still. So that Shadow Word Death isn't going to probably see play for a little while. The only other target really would be the Hooked Reavers when they get below 15 health. Well, I guess they don't need to be below it, but there's no reason to play the Reaver before then. So because when you play that Hooked Reaver below 15 health, it upgrades into a 7/7 taunt, and the Death needs a 5-attack minion, so. So got a decent, good trade setup for the Homunculus, but they're gonna go face. And they're gonna pass. Okay. Maybe they're probably holding on to some cards there in case they draw Mountain Giant, or they have their Twilight Drake next turn, get that 1 extra health. Or maybe they're just holding on to the Homunculus to try to find that Spellstone before they play it. And the Priest's Drake goes down. Double trade into Homunculus. Deciding on the Spellbreaker here, hovering over that. They are at 9 cards, so they can do a tap before they do anything. If they decide to. They did draw that Spellstone, so that Homunculus is going to charge that out, bring that to 5 damage life steal. And there's the Reaver I mentioned earlier. So they're going to throw down their Twilight Drake, and it's going to be a little higher than the Priests, but that's alright. Let's see here. Not a whole lot of options this turn. They only have that 3-mana drop. I think that's the Twilight Acolyte. Not totally sure what that is. It looks like it, but.
What is a loon's will?
And that Twilight Acolyte is, if that is what it is, it's a 3-mana 2/4 that swaps the attack of another minion. And so there's not really a whole point in swapping 2 attack for 4, and so he's just going to heal and pass. Still deciding if they want to play that Spellbreaker or not. They do have the Homunculus to charge up the Spellstone and bring them closer into that 15 health range, because they do have 2 Hooked Reavers, so they can drop both of those to be 7/7 boys. Those will be hard to get by. But the Priest does have a lot of stall. Of course, he has the Death he discovered earlier to take out one of the Reavers, but he has 2 Psychic Screams, which will shuffle all the minions back into the Warlock's deck, and so that will buy a lot of time to get his mana up and charge up those Spellstones. So they are going to throw down the Spellbreaker, and then the Homunculus to eat up that trade next turn. So they do have 7-mana drops on deck with the coin. So that is likely, but he could just go for another heal trade and pass. But he'll have to he'll have 8 damage on the board, and with Warlock, you never know if what they're gonna pull out of their sleeve to get a little extra damage in there. So I'm at least gonna get that trade in. Let's see what he does. Okay, ooh, no. Yeah, Eric's in a tough spot right now, but he's going to throw out the coin, and is that a Psychic Scream? Yep, so there goes 1 Psychic Scream. Those are going to get shuffled back into the deck, which is good for stall, but that's another Spellbreaker back in there, which can really hurt some of the minions Eric can put down later. So they're going to tap into the Hooked Reaver, get that 7/7 on the board. And they're going to throw out the Ooze for stats. They're deciding on that. Yep, and they are. Okay. So they walked into the death for that Hooked Reaver if Eric does decide to do that, but he also does have the Crowd Roaster. You can just knock out the Reaver instead with that. Hold on to the death for a Mountain Giant, which, hey, look, there's one. They drew their other Spellstone, but they've got no way to charge them up, so I suspect a Reaver into the Spellstone on the Crowd Roaster, but they could. There's the Reaver and the Spellstone, yep. And throw that 3 damage into the face. And crossing into the 8 mana range, that Shadow Reaver Anduin's on deck now. And what the Shadow Reaver Anduin does is it's one of those hero cards, so you put it down, you get 5 armor, and it changes the hero power, and also has a battle cry. And so the battle cry is any minions that are over 5 attack get destroyed. And so I don't know. That'll probably be used on just one Mountain Giant, something like that later on, since he has that death. But he's also deciding on a Twilight Acolyte, which I mentioned earlier. You can swap the attack there. All right. You see that effect play out there and makes a favorable trade there. You can use the Powered Shield to bring him out of the double trade range. But they do have that Spellbreaker, which will bring it back down to a 2/4. Which is a decent amount of resources down the drain for the Priest, but throw a heal to the face and pass the turn. So Spellbreaker's not a horrible option here. They could play the Mountain Giant before that, but again, they have that death they're sitting on. That Nerubian Unraveler might be a real pain later on, because all the spells in the Priest are already expensive as is, and so if he had any plans to play something afterwards, that Unraveler can definitely stop that. They are also at odd mana, so they can tap and see what they pull off the top. Let me see what else would be very helpful. Not a whole lot helpful. They have that Spellbreaker that was shuffled in earlier. Tap into the Beetle, and the Mountain Giant's going to come down. And then the Beetle afterwards. So now I suspect that a death will come down to get rid of that Mountain Giant, because they do have the Blood Reaver Gul'dan, which will res those 2 Hooked Reavers, which they can he can then use his Shadow Reaver Anduin to counter those demons that respawn. So that the hero power would also be very helpful to keep him alive, keep stalling for time. But yep, the death does come out. Mountain Giant goes down, leaving him with the Scale Worm, and can't totally tell what that 6 mana card is. Ah, Holy Fire. Okay. See, I would say Scale Worm and then heal afterwards, because the Scale Worm you can trade into a minion. So I can heal that and the Scale Worm, yep. You can heal the Scale Worm so that the Beetle can't perfectly trade into it. So without any board clear, the Warlock's in a bit of a tough spot right now. You know, a Hellfire would be very helpful. They could trade the Beetle in and get rid of both of those minions, and Also push at priest health lower.
Many possibilities.
They also have that very the lesser spellstone that they could throw into one of those minions. Or if they want to, they could just throw out the Bloodraver Gul'dan and get those 7/7 taunts up. What else? They would get the homunculuses back. So there'd be 4 minions there. Yep, yep, there it comes down. So, so I believe it's just those 4 demons. Yep. Oh, they don't come back upgraded. That's right. I forgot. So, in a little bit of a weird spot right now. I can't really, from what I can tell, can't really, I think that was a Twilight Drake he just drew, so can't really just clear those minions, kill them anyway. He has a Psychic Stream to just move them all into the back into the deck. But he does have to deal with that hero power each turn, which is just going to be a constant 3 damage punching him in the face. He can use the Alexstrasza on himself later on to put him back to 15, but he's going to play Twilight Drake and Holy Fire and then just trade. Yeah, that was probably the better option than the Psychic Scream. Ooh, Defile off the top. Will kill his 2 minions, but also the friendly minions. Unless he can also just trade before and wipe everything on that side, so. Yep, so the Defile comes out. 3 more armor. You can put out their Twilight Drake and probably a hero power just to push the damage. Yep. There's no real reason for or against playing the Protector. I don't know what you really play it for later on, so you just put it down for the stats right now. Try to push for that lethal. Because they have 9 damage, 6 on the board, 3 from the hero power, so. Mind Blast, Shadow Vision's Holy Fire. So, from a strictly, oh crap, I'm gonna die perspective, yeah, the Holy Fire is probably the better option. You can get rid of the Sun Fury Protector and heal for 5. You can also, yep, you hovered over the that Drake. Can big 4/8 body, can stall for a turn, yeah.
I wonder.
Either that or throwing out a very wimpy Psychic Scream. I would go for the Drake personally. There's no point in doing the Holy Fire because you're going to heal for 5 but then just take 4 from the Drake. So you're really not going to gain anything out of that. Maybe he's going to put out the Drake. So that'll eat up a turn because he can double trade and hero power. They also have the Spellstone if they want to do that instead, which it's currently at 3, so they could, the Spellstone, hero power, and the Sunfury Protector will be 8, and they can push 4 more into the face. Let's see, that Drake was a 4/7, I believe, and so if they do the Shroom Healer, it's only going to heal for 2. They do have that on Raveler, which they can play to, well, it wouldn't actually stop much. It would, I mean, it would, if the Priest is wanting to Psychic Scream, it would stop a hero power afterwards, but as of right now, don't see a real reason to play the Unraveler. They could go for a Silence and then throw 9 damage into the face if they want to play aggressive. Couple options here on what they can do. Spellbreaker's going to come down, so they're going to push 9 damage into the face, leaving the Priest with 1. believe that is game, because he'd have to clear the board with the Psychic Scream, but the Hero Power would kill him afterwards, and he can only use his own Hero Power to bring him up to 3. Yeah, I don't even know what could be rezzed. Alex Straza puts him up to 15, which he has, let's see, 12, 14 on the board, and then the 2 more from the Hero Power. So I believe that is game.
What is in wounds with?
Yeah, just heal. Just play Reno Jackson. Go back to 30. That nice glowing hand. Wish my hands could glow. Oh yeah, no, it's a glove. Okay, so just gonna see what he gets from the Spellstone. Nah, nothing. And just throw a Mind Blast at the face for funsies.
Well played.
Well, that'll be it.
Nicely done.
See what way they up the Hellfire to finish it. Well, that'll be it. Yep, ACU. Well, the one ACU beat the other ACU. Well, not sure what is coming next. I don't know if we'll do any fun interviews or not. Welcome back. So we'll be right back. We'll see what we're doing.
Well, there you have it, folks. ACU eSports wins. Yeah, go
Yay.
ACU eSports.
And the other ACU team lost. Darn.
Yeah, darn.
Yeah, it
yes.
happens.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh yeah, I had fun.
Yeah.
I had
and,
fun.
you know, because I like making excuses, I will note
Okay,
that
go ahead.
Mid-Range Hunter, which was my first matchup, and Even Warlock, which was my second matchup, are the top tier decks at the moment. Like those are the top 2 tier decks.
Okay.
When it comes to like tier 1 decks, those are the only 2 there, and so.
Well, it's
Yeah,
it's a valid excuse,
yeah.
but to bring in a melee term, no Johns. Do you know melee?
Nah, I don't.
Ah, darn.
But
All right. Maybe
anyways,
somebody got that.
I like making excuses because, that's what I do.
That's fine.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. We
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Even though we didn't get to see some action against the Daytona State folks, we got to see some fun Hearthstone. And so thank you for joining us tonight.
It was
a lot of
it was
fun.
a pleasure. I had fun. And we
got
got a win, an actual official win.
Yeah. So ACU is now has now scored their first win for the
Yep.
series so far.
4 more to go.
That sounds really sad, but like, go back, watch those games. Like they were close. Like,
Yeah, they were.
It was some pretty good stuff. So, all right. This week is not going to be nearly as busy as normal. Normally we have a melee tournament or an ultimate tournament on Thursdays. That's not going to happen because it's spring break.
Yep.
Also, it's not going to happen because we have something even better this week.
We do.
This Saturday is the Smash on the Hill. It's going to be awesome if you play Smash, if you know someone who plays Smash, if you dream about Smash, if you
It's me. It's a dream.
have casually glanced at Smash before, you should show up to this tournament. Go to smash.gg/SmashOnTheHill. If you don't know what that is, just type !SMASH in chat, and it will give you the URL. And it looks like production has already taken care of that for you. So you have no excuses. Go right now. Get registered. It's going to be awesome. The top first, second, and third in each group, singles and doubles, is going to get prizes. Right. If you register and show up, you get a prize just for being there. We have participation prizes.
Ah, good. Those are always good.
Yeah.
I need those.
Oh, and you'll be entered for a raffle. It's going to be really awesome. Cullen Auditorium this Saturday. And if you can't be here, if for some reason you're getting a tan on the beach in Mexico, I hope that they have Wi-Fi, because you should tune in and check out Smash on the Hill. We'll be streaming it live right here on ACU eSports. That will be our next thing that we stream, unless we get some sort of stream squad stuff going this week, which I don't know about. But no, we're not going to have any R6 on. We might have R6 on Friday. I don't know yet. But chances not so good. We'll see. Then be back here next week, Monday, because we're still playing. We're still in this.
Hopefully we'll have an actual match this time against an actual team.
And
not just a couple of losers that, hey, we got one game. We got one game. That's all that matters.
You got one game. Thanks.
I got one game.
Thanks for that. All right.
Anytime.
Good night, ACU.
Good
Go
night.
Wildcats.